What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Juice Box Heroes podcast. I'm one of your hosts, PK. We got the Dubon Fan Club president, Chris Moreno, is with us. Sweet B Bones Bros. We got the whole squad back together. Fellas, how was your week?
Yeah, man, it's good to finally have everybody back together. It seems like the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's either been 2, 1, none. So it's good to have everybody back. But yeah, man, typical busy week full of baseball. It never ends. So besides that, man, I'm excited to get all three of us back here, ready to talk some baseball. Browse, how was your week going?
Fantastic, man. And last weekend was awesome too. Obviously, we got to take a little time off. We went to Arizona, got to go to the state fair, which was a whole lot of fun because it was on a Friday. Nobody was there because everybody thought it was going to rain, and people in Arizona are afraid of rain. Then Saturday, obviously, we had the Red River Shootout, which looked fantastic.
Yes, sir.
PK, we got to talk about that later. Remind me. But other than that, yeah, no, it was a great week. Squeeze some baseball in there too, even though the Astros are out of it. Still watched a little playoff baseball, so that was fun. And I got some updates on the fall league, which was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, just glad to be back in the saddle. So glad we're all back together again. PK, how about you, buddy? How are you doing?
Pretty good, man. Really busy with work. So that's it. Really busy with work. Volleyball is school ball is wrapping up here soon. Then it's straight into club ball, and that'll take us from November into June. So yeah, it's about to get pretty busy. But enough of that, man. Let's get into this podcast. Look, we're going to start a 4-part series tonight, right? We're going to begin with the starting rotation. As it stands right now, right, is how we're going to kind of start. And then, we'll make our way through the rest of the club, the next 3 episodes after this one. So let's get started, man. So Chris, where do you want to start with the rotation, how we ended it? You want to throw your graphic up and then we can kind of piggyback off of that?
Yeah, so this graphic doesn't include Framber Valdez because I'm just going to assume that he's going to be gone. But like I said, you went into the what became the offseason, the early exit of the MLB season with basically Hunter Brown, Christian Javier, Lance McCullers, Jason Alexander. Again, Fromber would have been number 5. But he gone. More likely he gone. So now we're looking at potentially maybe AJ Blueball coming back. And then, you've got guys like Wisniewski and Blanco that'll probably come back probably sometime mid next year. Kind of like how, Christian Javier, came back and, unfortunately, Luis Garcia came back. So I pretty much see those last 2 guys as guys that are, if they contribute anything, great. But more likely, I wouldn't count on too much for them going into next season. But yeah, if you look at that rotation, I don't know, depending on how you look at it, man. It's just kind of depressing a little bit to kind of look at it, seeing from where we were 5 years ago to where we're at now. It's kind of sad to look at. Bronze, looks like you had something to say. What you got, man?
No, I was going to say the last 2 guys on that list, obviously coming up mid-season, that may change coming up, obviously, very quickly because we completely turned over our training and medical staff on the Astros. So thank God, by the way, not to throw these guys under the bus, but man, there were just so many blunders, especially with the pitching staff. With are they coming back? When are they coming back? Oh, there was a setback. Okay, well, we're not going to tell the media anything, which means that you guys don't know anything. So I think that we're going to have at least a fresh start there. So I'm still hoping that those dates are correct. But at the same time, we'll see what happens. So I know I was trying to step on your toes a little bit. So go back.
That's all right. You're good, man. You got a few. We got some toes to step on because it's been a minute since we've all been back on at the same time. We lost the flow. You know what I'm saying? So throw that thing back up there one more time, Chris. Go ahead. The rotation. So Hunter Brown, Javier, McCullers, Alexander. So I'm looking at this thing, right? Hunter Brown, Javier, and that's probably all that I would trust out of that potential rotation, right?
Which ones?
Lance.
Which ones did you say?
Javier and Brown.
Okay.
right? Like McCullers, I mean, man, I mean, as much as it pains me to say, as much as we want him to be the McCullers of, I don't know, 17, you know what I mean? 18, right? Like he's just not that guy anymore. Right, you take it down. He's just not that guy anymore, right? It's just a reality. He missed 2 full seasons of ball, right? We saw him come back this season. We saw him get shelled. We saw him have, a couple of good outings like for him, right? We saw him go down to the bullpen. We saw how that happened, how that worked out. I just don't know. I don't think he can hold a spot on the rotation. I just don't, right? And I believe he's coming off the book. Is he off the books this year, or is 26 his last year?
26 will be his last season, technically under this contract.
Correct. Right. So probably safe to say that he's not going to get renewed. Right. Probably safe to say.
I mean, it would take a lot. It would take like a massive turnaround.
Yeah.
I would think.
Jason Alexander, right? And we've got 25 more minutes to talk about it. But like with Jason Alexander, I didn't know who this guy even existed on the face of the planet before this season. You got probably all you're going to get out of Alexander, right? I think it's probably really difficult to back that up in another year for a full season, right? I mean, he lives off the changeup. Now, he just did an interview, with our buddies over H-Town Wheelhouse had an interview with Back to the Bullpen here recently with him, and I watched a little bit of the excerpts of it. He lives on his changeup. I mean, he said, I'm trying to show the hitters a meatball 91-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle of the plate, so that hopefully that it starts going down in a way like his changeup. But when he misses, I mean, it's not even a BP fastball, right? I mean, it's, I don't know, slow pitch softball ball, right? I think it's too much to ask for Alexander to replicate how well he pitched for us this year. Now, thank God he did, because we needed him out of all those starts, right? Who else is on there? Hayden's mid-year. Ronell's mid-year. Blue Ball was the other one on there. Blue Ball, I want to see in the rotation coming out of spring, right? I think, we talked about it several times, right? Didn't look good when he first came up, went back down. Looks like he corrected some things, came back up, and was a damn good long reliever for us, right? Velocity was up to 98, right? I mean, good strikeout rating. So, I like the Brown. I like Javier, right? McCullers, I don't know what you really do with that. Blue Ball, good number 5 starter. That's kind of where I'm at with that rotation. And Chris, you asked the question, leading into this thing, how comfortable do you feel going into 26, with that rotation? And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not. I'm not. We thought coming into the season we had depth, a lot of depth, right? We had a lot of injuries. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really go into 26 with that rotation of, Brown, Javier, Blue Ball, Alexander, and somebody else. You just can't. You cannot do that.
All right, Bros, what do you think?
I actually, PK, you brought up quite a few good points. One, when you're talking about depth, the Astros were so confident that they decided, even before spring training started this season, that they were going to let Urquidy go. Like, they knew he was injured. They knew that, he had been serviceable for us, and he was rehabbing and all that kind of stuff. And for whatever reason, they just let him go. The only reason I could think of was due to the depth, kind of like what you were talking about. We had a ton of guys that were supposed to be coming off. One of the guys not on that list that we may or may not see, we don't know, because he really struggled at the end of the season, was JP France.
Mm-hmm.
JP France was solid for us, 2 seasons ago. So what is he going to be doing in the offseason to actually put himself on that list? I also see Lance McCullers, and I know we were kind of talking about that as, he's going to be off the books after next season. But I think when we come out of spring training in 2026, we're going to see Lance McCullers is our probably number 7 setup guy. He's going to be our 7-inning dude. That's who he's going to be, because his arm, his elbow, his shoulder, whatever else is wrong with him, I don't think has the sustainability to get in there and be a rotation pitcher every 5-6 days, go out there and give us 85 to 90 pitches, every single game. So, I don't see McCullers cracking that. I do definitely agree with the AJ Blue Ball comp. I want to see him in there. I want to see him progress. He's a young, good pitcher. We've seen him, progress all the way from Sugarland to here. And, Chris and I saw him in Sugarland and he looked fantastic. And just, dude, yeah, I'm very, very positive on him. Other guy I'm positive on that wasn't on that list is Colton Gordon. I really
Yeah, I
hope
was
to
gonna
see
say
him.
I forgot him too.
I was going to say, I probably took the words out of your mouth, but yeah, Colton Gordon, I want to see him progress, fight for a number 4 and number 5 spot and see what's going to happen. But to the point that you were talking about, PK, yeah, we've got some holes in this rotation. I know on paper, could we start 5 and throw it out there without having a bullpen day? Yeah, we could, but that's not how you want to start the season. So, Chris, I'll give it up to you.
All right. So when I look at this list, it starts off really well. Hunter Brown. I think this is the year that he fully takes on that ace responsibility. Christian Javier, when he came back from injury, kind of shows you glimpses here and there of what he used to be. So that was definitely a good sign. Jason Alexander, man, PK, I kind of agree with you. I mean, how much better are we going to get? How much more does he have of that stretch that he went on in the tank? Now, I'm not saying maybe he's a late bloomer. Who knows? I mean, is he a guy that I wouldn't mind having in the rotation? Yeah, as my number 5.
Yeah.
I mean, but based off of this rotation I'm seeing here, he's pitched better than Lance McCullers. AJ Blue Ball, I mean, we've seen him. He started one game, and then we've seen him in long relief. I mean, so essentially looking at this starting rotation as of right now, he's your number 3. And that's a big bucket of no bueno. Not taking anything away from what he's done. I mean, if we're looking at, and again, it's tough to compare it to lineups that we've had in the past. There is no way you're going to look at this pitcher rotation and say it's just as sexy as the rotation that we had with Prime JV and Prime Garrett Cole and all this other stuff. It's like you're talking apples to oranges. I do think as of right now, this rotation is gonna need some help as far as whether that's via a trade, whether that's via free agency. I mean, but to say like with Urquidy, they let him go. I mean, I think he came back and pitched like the last week with the Tigers. And then but also too, we still kind of have some decent depth down in Sugarland too. Browse, you mentioned names of Colton Gordon that wasn't on the list. JP France, so he's coming back from recovering from injury, but we still have a couple of good young arms down in Sugarland. You've got Miguel Uola, you got Ethan Pecco down there as well. I mean, so starting pitching wise, there's a little bit of depth, but I don't think it's as it's as deep as we were going into last season. So it's got some depth to it. I mean, again, Uola, that was his first season in AAA. Pecco was called up probably with 75% of the season done already. So he's only really had about a quarter season down in AAA. I mean, they both pitched very well. I mean, but again, how is that going to translate to, pitching against big leaguers? I mean, so, but yeah, I mean, like looking at this list, the first thing I thought of is they need to go get at least one arm, at least bare minimum, at least a guy that you could easily plug into a number 2 or number 3 pitcher. That's what I'm looking at right off the bat. I think you could get away. Yeah, I mean, I think you can get away with plugging in, signing or trading for number 2, sliding Christian Javier at 3. Maybe you put Alexander at 4, and then essentially you go into spring with McCullers versus Blue Ball for number 5. I understand on paper, hypothetically speaking, between us and a lot of people in the city of Houston agree. It's easier to just say, "Hey, McCullers, you're going to be in the bullpen," right? I mean, it's a lot easier to just say that. I mean, who knows if they had that conversation? As PK brought up earlier, he did do some time in the bullpen. He didn't look really good. I mean, but then again, he didn't look really good in the rotation as well. I mean, so Lance McCullers, this 2026 is his year. It's his make or break year because you're going to have to break out, or you're not going to get another long term deal. I mean, so it's not looking pretty. Just kind of looking at it right now. And again, that's assuming that Framber Valdez is going to be gone. So
Yeah,
who knows?
and you kind of stole what I was gonna say about McCullers. You know, right at the end where he's out, he's up. You know, he's in a contract year. So if he wants to secure any kind of multi-year deal for 27, 28, I mean, he's got to show up, you know, in 26, right? If not, he's going to be that 1 year pitcher, you know, kind of bouncing around until he finally decides to hang it up, right? I mean, he's got to put up this year. You know, and then look, we can pretend we can look forward to the trade deadline in next July, and you can pull the Dana Brown card and say, hey, look, man, when Wisniewski comes back and when Ronell comes back, it's like acquiring two different pitchers, two brand new pitchers.
No, it's not. It's not. Not when you got guys coming off of Tommy John. No, it's not. So
real quick, we have those two, Ronell, and we have Hayden, and we have Brandon Walter and Luis Garcia. And is
Walter's another
is Arrighetti on?
He's 27, right?
Is he on the elbow?
I keep forgetting about Arrighetti. I don't know why, but I just keep forgetting about him. I totally forgot about him. I don't know what his deal is.
But he had an elbow.
Was he an elbow?
They said that.
Okay.
It seemed like towards the end of the season, everybody was having an elbow. Like for real. That was at least the reason they were going on the IL.
I know Walter had Tommy John, so
yes.
He probably had it in August. So he's pretty much done.
Yeah.
Like,
and that was a huge find. You know, we talk about these gyms every year, right? These pitching gyms that come out of freaking nowhere. You had Alexander, Brandon Walter, right? Colton Gordon until he got towards the end where he wasn't, you know, he was sent back down. The thing for Colton Gordon, what he needs to work on for 26, or one of the things, is he's got to be able to go deeper into games. He was consistently 4 to 5 inning guy. He needs to ramp that up. He needs to figure out a way to extend his outings from 5 to 6. You know, like that's the next step for him. I mean, look, he was pitching great for 4 to 5, right? I mean, we every night every week that we came on, we read the stats of the previous starting pitching for the week, and like Colton Gordon was, you know, 3 to maybe 4 runs, 4 maybe to 5, you know, 5 innings. Right, he was giving you what you needed. We also know the offense wasn't giving us what we needed at the same time, right? So I think for Colton, he has to figure out a way to, you know, get his pitch count down so that he can extend his outings to 5 to 6, maybe 7, 6 2/3, somewhere in there. And then, you know, you've got a bottom of your starting rotation with, like you said, a blue ball, Gordon, you know, McCullers fighting for a spot. You know, I think deep down, you know, we always give, you know, we always give McCullers a lot of grief, right? We talk about being a barista. I think deep down we all want to see one last hurrah from McCullers. We want that last,
of course,
that last ride, right? And this would be the year for him to go do that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you brought up a good point with the Arrighetti situation too. It's like, I where is he? And you know, it's between him, JP France. A lot of these guys, you know, they're going to have to get stretched out, and it's going to be really interesting to see in this offseason as we get like very minor, you know, media updates, like what's going to happen with these guys. Because I've already seen, as I mentioned earlier, you know, the Arizona Fall League is kind of where we try out some of our guys from single A, double A, you know, that we really want to take a good look at and kind of get going. But a lot of these guys that are international players, they're going to go off to the Caribbean League. You know, some of them are going to go play in the Mexican Winter Leagues. You know, we're going to see all kinds of stuff going on. So as long as we can keep following up with everybody and seeing what's going on, and hopefully they're not all just taking it off and, you know, grabbing a side gig or, you know, who knows, God forbid, just taking the whole time off. But anyway, seeing what they do in the offseason is going to be a really big deal because we're talking, we've got probably what now at this point, 5, 6 guys to fill the bottom 2, maybe even 3 positions in the starting rotation. I fully believe, and this is me, and I know probably a lot of Astros Nation too. I don't see Lance McCullers, even though I do want to see that final hurrah from him. I want to see him succeed. And I think for him to succeed, he's going to have to be in the bullpen. I just don't think his arm is going to be able to make it all the way through a starting rotation in 162 games without having some either major injury, having to take, a month off here or there or something like that. So honestly, the way I'm looking at that is you've got 5-6 guys competing for 3 spots right now in the rotation. Thank goodness we've got that. But from what Chris was saying, even with Dana Brown having to go do his homework, we're going to talk about this in a later episode when we get to the hot stove. But, I think we're going to need a little bit of veteran depth in there, whether it's a 2, a 3, or whatever the case may be. And no, I wasn't trying to Dr. Seuss that. Sorry.
Sounded good.
Anyway,
Sounded really good.
I know. 2 or 3, whatever the case may be, we need a starting pitcher somewhere. So
see, you ruined it. You had to do the 4th one as a rhyme. Damn it, Brian.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah, and I just looked it up on apparently Spencer Arrieta's healthy. So he's not listed under any of the injuries on the injuries or transactions. So
they're not going to put an ish on the back of it.
Yeah.
So
so
ish.
Yeah, I mean, so even looking at this potential starting rotation as of right now, I think Arrieta, in my opinion, he's probably a really good number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like I said, what I would like to see them do is go get you a number 2, and that's all I'm going to leave it as. I'm not going to go into depth of who I think it should be, but I think you go Hunter Brown 1, you go get whoever new guy you get number 2, slide Javier at 3. You can have then you let the battle begin between Arrieta, Jason Alexander, Blue Ball. I guess you can throw McCullers in there as a courtesy. I mean, but here's the thing. The thing is this is yes, now Browse, you brought it up and it just kind of clicked with you. It's yeah, you got 6 guys going for the number 5 slot. That's great. I mean, but man, I kind of want some more guys fighting for that number 3, number 2, 3 and 2 spots. I mean, so that's great that we have 6 or 7 guys, that could be a potential, 5 spot in the rotation. I mean, but I just liked a little bit of depth, a little bit higher, I guess. I'm just being selfish. I mean, so.
Well, or you could look at it negative Nancy. Negative Nancy says we only have 6 to 7 guys that are worth the number 5 spot.
We're spoiled, man.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the Debbie Downer side to look, way to look at it. I'm gonna tell you what. I know we're not going to talk about hot stove stuff, but they better not go out and get Dylan Cease. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I don't want to get down that rabbit hole. I don't either. I hope they don't. But we'll get in the hot stove stuff later. But you brought up, go out and get an arm, and I don't want to see Dylan Cease in a Nationals uniform. But
I mean, okay. So since we're talking about the rotation, I've been seeing and I think we kind of touched up on this a little bit in the last couple of episodes. Maybe last time all 3 of us were together. Dana Brown got a lot of flack for not bringing in another starting pitcher, and I think about, and it kind of popped in my mind when you brought up Dylan Cease, and it was man, I understand making the playoffs, potentially getting bounced in the first round is better than not making the playoffs, but the price tag that San Diego wanted for Dylan Cease, I'm glad Dana Brown didn't pull the trigger on that trade.
No, absolutely.
I mean, well, we all are now.
So well, I mean, I'm talking about this in general. I mean, because, even if, I see that as a potential Kikuchi trade that we did last year, where hopefully they make the playoffs, hopefully they actually use him, but then he's going to leave. He's going to go test free agency. I mean, and the names that were in that package that San Diego wanted was a lot better, package that we gave up than what we gave up for Kikuchi. A lot better. I mean, so I'm kind of glad that they didn't pull the trigger. They stand pat. It is what it is. I know it sucks. It sucks to be watching the championship series and the Astros aren't in it. I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, even if we are eventually going to move those assets, we can move them for controllable players, which I know
always about controllable players.
PK, mark that down.
That's right.
Remember, we were on the other side of the Kikuchi trade. So mark that down. That's what Chris said.
That's
that
what
way.
he said.
Yeah.
He's that
No,
way.
I was talking about PK liking it for a controllable player, not a rental.
Controllable players. That's all it's about. All right. Well, look, we got a few minutes left, man. Let's do a quick little big boy club update. A couple of guys got nominated for Gold Gloves. It's one of Chris's favorite people in the world. Chris, what is his name, and how many Gold Gloves has he been nominated for?
Cam Smith, and
Nope.
this is his first one he's been nominated for.
And say it with your chest.
And the other guy.
Say it with your chest.
Dubon.
That's right.
Mauricio Dubon.
Mauricio Dubon got nominated.
As a what?
Nominated
A utility player?
Yes, as the utility player.
I mean, what else is he going to be Gold Glove for? I think the big thing out of it, right, is that, yeah, cool. Dubon got nominated, right? Cool. More impressive that Cam Smith is nominated
Absolutely
as a right fielder who came up as a third baseman and only had to play right field because we didn't have a corner outfielder, right? And we've got Paredes at third and now Correa, right? So I don't think he'll win it. I don't know. He might, but to be nominated, right, as a rookie in a position that you literally learned every day for 162 games is pretty freaking impressive.
Not just that,
Absolutely.
but there were 15 days left in spring training, and they're like, "Hey, Cam Smith, you have an outfielder's glove? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Go play right field."
Yeah.
He's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Which is kind of
and now
crazy,
he's
though,
still
to think
Glover?
about it. Yeah, I mean, I understand that Jake Myers missed some time, but how in the world does Jake Myers not at least get a nomination for a
Top
Gold
5
Glove
or
for center
something?
field?
I mean, he's got to be like
come on.
semifinals, something.
I'm gonna hate to say this right now, but you know who didn't get even a finalist for the Gold Glove, which I thought was amazing, was Cal Raleigh. He got the Platinum Glove last year and didn't even make it this year. I was like, wow.
Well, 'cause he's gonna win MVP, but still.
Ooh,
But
no,
you're right,
he will. I don't think he will. I bet you they give it to Judge.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he will.
I think
No,
he will
Writers
because
from New York, buddy.
I think he will because he's a catcher. It's more demanding. He's played every game. I don't even talk about Seattle. But I'm just saying, like I think that's why.
Outside of home runs, that's the only stat he's got Judge beat on. That's it. Home runs.
Okay, well, it's an offensive league, man.
But Chris,
MVP,
you would notice from a catcher's defensive standpoint, he was number one in every single catching category in the American League.
I get it.
It was unbelievable. I was shocked when he didn't get it. It's like if he had 2 home runs or 60, I don't care. It's like from a defensive standpoint, I was shocked that he didn't get it. Anyway,
from a Dana
150 games too.
I thought he caught all of them. I don't think he got days off. In Dana Brown cooked news, Minnesota released.
Here we go.
Minnesota released the 26-year-old single A pitcher that we sent for Carlos Correa. So he won again. I mean, he's still winning.
So essentially, you got Correa for nothing, and you got them to pay for a good portion of his contract.
That's right.
All right,
and you have Correa for 2 more.
I like it. Put some respect on Dana Brown's name.
Yeah. I mean, we still have the Paredes and Cam Smith. You know, Hayden when he comes back. You've got Correa for 2 more years. I mean, got to figure out first base. We're gonna get into that in the next several episodes. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's episode. I'm glad to have all 3 of us back on. Will we be back on Sunday? Sure. Let's go for Sunday. Possibly. We'll let you know.
We should be. I mean, our second game is at 3:30.
Okay. Well, look, sounds like we're going to be back on Sunday. I think all 3 of us will be back. We'll go at 7:30 like we always do. We're going to do part 2 of the 4-part series, which is going to part 2.
We'll go outfield. Outfield part 2. Part 2 is going to be the outfield.
We're going to do outfield. A lot to talk about there. A lot. Because you don't have much. But until then, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Texas has Kentucky this weekend. I'm going to Lamar versus UT Rio Grande. My mother's alma mater is coming up from the Valley, so I'm going to take her to watch them. Looking forward to the old Southland Conference football game. So that'll be fun. But hope you guys have a great weekend. Good luck with baseball, fellas. This is the Juicebox Heroes. I'm your host, PK. That's Chris. That's Bryles. We'll talk to y'all on Sunday.
Book 'em.
Hook 'em, baby.
Nice little doubleheader this weekend. I like it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.